I am a full 10 server days into my journey here on my 2025 Hell Hades free-to-play challenge account. As you can see, I have just logged into day 11. And yet I am already starting to climb the leaderboards. I'm still in the bottom half, but I am out of the basement. And that is surprising to me because, as you know, I am using a slow roll free-to-play approach that is sacrificing potential challenge points for the long-term health of this account. I'm really not being competitive with this account. I'm just trying to play it as well as I can in a free-to-play manner, as if this were going to be a new permanent account. And yet we're climbing. So in today's video, we're going to take a look around the account. I'm going to update you on the areas of progress I've made since my last update video. And then we're also going to check out the leaderboards and kind of speculate as to why are we moving up the leaderboards right now? What does this mean for the next few days in terms of points? And does it indicate anything about where we're likely to finish at the end of the 90-day limit? I don't know for sure, but we're going to have some fun speculating about it, so I hope you stick around. I am Colred. This is Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play challenge. Let's get started. Just a quick update on this week's Takeover Tuesday live stream. As I've mentioned before, this is the week my wife returns to full-time work since giving birth to our son, and as a result, our schedules will be in flux. So for this week at least, I will not be going live at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time like I normally do. Instead, I'm going to try for 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead. I don't know if that's going to work long-term, but that is the goal for now. And if that changes, I will update you through my Discord community. So you want to make sure you're a part of that. While I have you here, if you wouldn't mind, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you for this week's Takeover Tuesday live stream. Okay, here we are on the challenge account. It is technically day 11 on my server count, although everybody else is one day ahead of me for the most part. However, the server change has happened about 4 hours ago, 4.5 hours ago, and I've only played about 20 minutes since then. So it's basically approximately 10 full days of gameplay here on this account. Now let's go over to the leaderboards really quickly so you can see where I stand. And as you can see, I have climbed a little bit. I believe in my last video, I was in something like 43rd place, and now I'm currently in 37th. And I thought 43 was kind of high for me. I thought that was doing all right. At the beginning, I was down around 53, 49. But over the last few days, I've steadily creeped up. Now, that might look good on the overall leaderboard, but if I compare myself against the #1 spot, I think that's an important thing to do. I'm actually getting further away from the top of the leaderboard. So in the last video, which I think was 2 days ago, I was about 750 to 800 points below first place. And right now I have 1,156 points. And if we look at the top of the leaderboard, Dante Raids has 2,030 points. So I am almost 900, not quite 900 points behind. So I've lost about 150 points of ground from the top spot. And what I think is basically happening is the leaderboard is starting to spread out a little bit. We were all clumped together early on, and we're starting to spread out a little bit. And there may be some players down here below me who are slow rolling like I am. Maybe they're not using their optimizer as much as I am, so they're not constantly updating their scores. Maybe they do it once a day or once every other day because they're primarily mobile players, or they just don't want to update the scores. There could be a lot of reasons. There are certainly some really good players below me. I expect this leaderboard to shift a lot over the next 79 days. I find it kind of humorous that Crop Show is right here below me. Feels really familiar being one spot ahead or behind of Crop Show. We battled all of last year's free-to-play challenge to end up just one ranking apart as well. I know that Crop Show was higher up early on, and he's kind of fallen down the leaderboard. I don't know what that represents. Maybe he had a burst of adrenaline early on, got a lot of progress, and now he's started to conserve resources, and so he's starting to fall down. Or maybe he hasn't updated his optimizer in a few days to just kind of hide how much progress he's made. I honestly don't know what it is. I'm sure there are all sorts of weird tactics and mind games people might be playing this year just because it's fun to do that. I haven't had the time to actually go to a lot of content creators' channels and watch videos. Just been so busy here, so I don't really know what's going on. If you know what's going on with any of these competitors, feel free to put it in the comments below and update me if you could do it that quickly. I'd appreciate it. Because like I said, I don't have any sense of what's happening on anybody else's accounts. Okay, now let's go back to my account so I can show you where the progress I've made has come from in the past few days. Starting with the roster, you can see I do have my Athel to 60. My Alice the Wanderer is still 50, but these both have their full masteries. Of course, Alice will need to get 60 to unlock the last tier. I actually have started to think that this was a mistake. I kind of wished that I didn't buy Alice's masteries. It's not that she's not doing great or she isn't awesome, but she's the same affinity and she does a lot of the same things that Athel do right now. I mean, I don't have the accuracy to really make her a great lockout champion. She will eventually become that, but I feel like maybe I should have put masteries onto Tagore or Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong, again, kind of like Alice, is a great arena champion, but at least he's a different affinity than Athel, and that would have been good. He's also a really good campaign farmer. He's actually going to be faster than Athel if I built him out. I'm not sure who I'm going to put my legendary tomes onto. It might be Alice. It might be Sun Wukong. I might hold them for another legendary down the line. I really don't know. Tagore is definitely the epic I want to invest in. I think he's going to be more valuable to me than Ugo for a while. She'll eventually overtake Tagore, and he may even drop out of the roster entirely. But for the early game, he's going to be more important. He gives me that increased speed buff, which is very valuable. He actually has a decent hit on this AoE, even though he's not built for damage. He's got that 100% revive. You can also just use it for a shield buff. Like, you don't need to use it as a revive. A 20% max HP shield on everybody on it's still on a 6-turn cooldown, but that's not bad. It can save you in a pinch. Ugo is my fastest champion. She's running at 190 speed, so I can get that decreased defense out there really quickly. The accuracy at 115 is not bad for now, but I need to boost that. And that's one of the reasons why, she'll probably be a 6-star before too long, because I'm going to want to get an accuracy banner on her if I can. And in fact, I have one with speed as a substat. It's only a 4-star, but that's still a decent chunk of accuracy and potentially some nice speed for my debuffer there. As far as the rest of the champions are concerned, I'm just kind of messing around with Soros and Doomscreech, Zephyr Sniper, Shield Guard, and Armiger. I may invest in one of them, but not all of them. So, probably any ones I keep, I'll keep at 40 just for faction crypts. But I will probably take one of these champions, either Armiger or Shield Guard most likely, maybe Doomscreech, up to 50 or maybe even 60. If I'm going to use Armiger, I'm definitely going to take him to 60. Same with Shield Guard. But potentially I could just use Doomscreech at 40, because really what he's giving me is this turn meter fill and the increased defense, which is really nice. That synergizes well with both Armiger and Shield Guard, by the way, which is kind of irritating, and Tagore and Ugo, and even Athel to some extent, because she's probably the tankiest of the starter champions. But so this is what my roster currently looks like. I'm doing the faction crypt approach that I outlined in a video recently, and I'm doing okay on faction crypts. I've been able to push several stars. You can see I've actually cleared the first boss on 2 crypts, I believe, Sacred Order and then Barbarian. So I can farm stage 8 on those and get better epic forge materials. I have skipped a few, like I didn't get any stars in the faction, the Shadowkin crypt or the Dwarf crypt, unfortunately just ran out of time. Remember, I'm only playing like between 2 and 4 hours a day, so I don't always have time to do the full faction wars commitment and like level up chickens and then turn them, into faction crypt champions. But I am trying to do it as much as I can. So I've already started, I think, with the Undead Horde today. You can see I've got 3 champions. So that should be enough to at least farm stage 1 or maybe even stage 3 pretty consistently. I'm going to hope to pick up a couple of more 20s at least, if not 30s, before the end of the server day. As far as Skinwalkers are concerned, this is one, because I have Wukong, that I should be able to do something with. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get past the first boss. Worst case scenario, I just basically throw Wukong in and I can probably farm stage 6 easily enough. But this is where some of my points on the leaderboard have come from. And this is probably where I'm ahead of a lot of players. I think I'm ranked 7th overall in points for faction crypts. So this is one of the reasons why I've been climbing. because I only really started implementing my method like 3 days ago. Prior to that, I was more focused on just getting the account into shape, like rounding out my starting five, basically. But now I've started to really focus on the faction crypts, and so I picked up points here. I've also picked up points in campaign because I have now completely 3-starred brutal. I'm sorry, hard and normal, and I am working on brutal, and I've gotten most of the way through brutal. I can farm 9-3 very easily with Athel. I could actually do that when she was 5 stars, and I've taken her to 6 stars, and she hasn't gotten significantly better. Like, she hasn't pushed campaign at 6 stars, which is kind of surprising to me, but her gear is still pretty awful. I haven't gotten any upgrades in the past few days. I don't think I've gotten a single upgrade piece onto a champion. I have gotten a few speculative pieces. I got a couple of pieces of speed gear that are decent, like this one here. You can see with accuracy and speed, but I just don't have a matching piece yet to really get it onto the right champion. I'd like to put this piece onto Wukong if I could. So maybe at some point I will switch up Wukong's gear. Wukong's gear is not great. Alice's is okay. She's a little slow. I think that Athel is okay. She's a little slow. She doesn't hit very hard, but she does have 100% crit rate. Her accuracy is a little low at this point. But once I get her last slot here, what's it called? A banner slot. Once I get her banner slot open, hopefully I can find a decent banner. This one's resistance with speed, so I might just use that for the time being to get her a little bit faster. But I'd like accuracy with speed. That would be ultimately the goal. And then also, this is the first amulet that I found for the Sacred Order, and it's okay for Athel. It does have a little bit of crit damage there, but it doesn't have accuracy, and it doesn't have crit damage as a main stat. That would be the goal there. It is 5 stars, and it's making her a little bit tankier, which is nice, and hit a little bit harder, which is also nice. So that was the only upgrade I've really gotten in the past few days. The next goal is definitely to take Ugo to 5 stars, because then my starting 5 will all be 50 or higher. I also want to get her 3-star ascended like skill unlock. So this is not hugely valuable in PvE, but it can be valuable in PvP. And so I want to make sure that I'm doing that. Speaking of PvP, if I go to the arena, I finished in silver. Whoa, that's 3v3. In Classic Arena, I finished in silver 4 for the season, got knocked down to silver 3 to start the new season, the new week, after reset. And I'm already doing decently. You know, I'm starting to push up a little bit. But it's definitely harder to find good matchups for me right now, primarily because of my speed. My team is slow, and if I go first, I win, and if I go second, I lose. My Ugo's decently fast, but she's often not the fastest champion out there. And then on top of that, my nukers are slow. So even if Ugo goes and Tagore goes, sometimes my Alice and Athel don't get a turn. And so that can be problematic. But the speed tune is decent. You know, in terms of the order of the teammates here, Tagore, I took Tagore out of the team to focus on all of the aspects that I wanted, right? So I've got the decreased defense, the buff strip, and then I've got the double nuke, which is not a bad way to go. I could put Tagore in here for a little bit of backbone, and he's got a shield set, and also he's fast. He's decently fast. He's got an increased speed buff. He's got the AoE revive. But generally, I found that I'm better off trying to go for the nuke out strategy. And so this is the team that I'm running with currently. I have gotten Wukong to 3 stars ascended, so that also could synergize with Tagore, right? If he can just be tanky and stay alive, then Wukong can keep coming back. But of course, most people are running magic affinity nukers anyway, and Wukong is weakened to those, and my Wukong doesn't have good gear. So I think in the long run, that might be a more viable option, but for right now, I really need the triple nukes. And Alice actually hits very hard at 50. She does great. I love both her A2 and her A3. So I'm enjoying her, and her lockout is starting to land a little bit, which is nice. So the lockout can be fun too. More speed on that lockout would be great. If I could get another 20 speed onto Alice, I would feel a lot better about it. But for right now, this is the best I can do. All right, a Demon Lord update. I have started to get better scores since getting Athel to 60, right? Because now I have the Giant Slayer on her. You can see I've gotten up to a 3.6 million key, 1 key on easy. My normal keys, I think, are about 2.5 million. Let me see. 2.8 million here, you can see on one key. And then my hard key, I guess, is probably about the 2.5 million. Yep, almost exactly. 2 keys there for 5 million. So I am getting the warrior chest here twice on easy. I hope I'm getting it twice on easy. Somebody's got to clear out that last 100K. And then I should be getting the I think I'm getting the warrior chest again here twice. And then probably I'm getting the warrior chest again. So I'm getting 6 warrior chests, which is unfortunate because there are no void shards with that. So probably tomorrow I'm just going to move up and get hard cleared, because I believe that the top one is 11.65 million. So I could probably 4 key this tomorrow, if I can get any improvements to my roster at all, because right now I'm getting 2.5 million a key. Affinity also matters. So maybe I'll do this, or maybe I'll just try to get the night chest and then maybe get 2 keys on normal. If we take a look at my dungeons have progressed a little bit. The potion keeps have not. But my Dragon's Lair is now up to stage 11, which I'm just farming. I haven't really tried to push past. I tried a couple of days ago and I got slammed on stage 12, so I figured why bother? I'm happy farming here. No more 3-star drops for me. That's a big improvement. So hopefully over the next couple of days, my gear will get a little bit better. As far as Ice Golem's Peak, I'm in the same spot, I think, 10 or 11. Yep. I have not pushed Spider's Den at all in the last few days, so I'm at 9. I need to get to stage 10 soon. Obviously, stage 10, you stop getting 3-star drops, so this is really where you want to be. Plus, for Spider, it's so valuable to be at stage 10. And then for Fire Knight's Castle, I haven't touched this, but I'm at stage 10, so that's not too bad. So I can farm stage 10 for all of the dungeons now. As far as the event dungeon is concerned, I'm also farming stage 10. Again, no more 3-star drops for me, basically. That was the goal. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I've been able to do. All of these feel like they're at 100%, except for Spider, I think. Spider's a little bit wonky, so it's at like maybe a 90% clear rate. But this feels good. This feels good. It's not too bad to be here. Now, as far as my Arbiter missions are concerned, I have moved into the 3rd quartile, right? So we're past the 75. The 75 that get you the Sacred Shard, so I now have the Sacred Shard, and we're moving into the next batch. This actually is a bit frustrating now because I have to wait for the magic potion keep to come back around. I was on the void keep when it unlocked, which meant I had to wait 3 full days. So I still have 2 to go. Once I get there, I'm going to just churn through all of this. Basically, these are just going to be energy. Clear stage 10 or higher of Minotaur's Labyrinth. Like, I'm already doing that. That's not a problem. 10 artifacts from Ice Golem's Peak. That's not going to be a problem. 2 rank 6 champions may or may not slow me down. Remember, I have 2 days to wait for the potion keep. So in the next 2 days, can I get another 6-star? And if I do, who's it going to be? It's going to be Tagore. It's going to be Alice. Should probably be Alice because I bought her masteries. We'll have to see. And then if I get on the correct rotation, the Spirit Potion Keep should be open the next day. And then I have to get through these 75 champions in Classic Arena. That's really important because the following day, I've got Force Potions. And then the day after that, I've got Void Potions. But if I can stay on pace, I can push all the way through, I think, all the way to this 5 million damage to the Demon Lord on a single difficulty. I think I can do that okay. I'm getting 2.5 million a key, so that would just be 2 keys into a single difficulty. Ascend a champion to level 6 of Ascension. I have not done that yet. I am waiting for this one because I believe that the level 60 or the rank 6 champions, these pre-complete. You can see I already have Athel at 60, and this is being counted. But I'm not 100% sure that you can pre-complete these. In fact, I think you have to do it on that mission. If you know for sure, let me know in the comments below. Probably going to get both answers. But I'm going to probably play it safe and wait till I get here to ascend Athel to 6 stars. And then I think I'm going to push through, again, 100 silver or gold medals in Classic Arena. That's going to take a couple of days. And the rest of this is easy, and I think I'm going to basically cruise through all of this. And then, have to get another 6-star champion. Let's see. Another Ascended champion, not a problem. I mean, none of these are really hard. They just take time. Like 100 champions in Classic Arena, it's a minimum of 25 wins. That takes a little while. You can maybe do that in a full day, but it's going to take most of a server day to do that, especially where I am, where, I have to get 3 or 4 refreshes maybe to get battles sometimes. So it takes a little while. I don't think the campaign is going to be a problem once I have 2 6-stars. So I'll be able to do all of that. 4th 6-star champion. Yeah, and then, we're just talking about time and energy. But none of these feel difficult to me. I think we're going to get all the way through all of these in a relatively short amount of time. Not, maybe 10 more days. Maybe 10 more days, and I think we'll fuse Relic Keeper, and we'll be done with this, and then we'll have a couple of legendary tomes to throw into somebody at that point. So I'm hoping to do all of these missions, let's say in the next 10 days, maybe even faster than that, maybe even the next 5 days. That'd be nice. That'd be nice to be able to do it. But there are some sticking points that's going to slow us down just a little bit in terms of the potion keeps rotating, and then those arena missions, which are always an issue. As far as arena has been going, in terms of just getting battles, I haven't been doing as many battles as I should be. That's really where the extra time in game would help. If I were playing 5 or 6 hours a day, it would be an extra 2 hours just in arena. So I'm going to get stuck at some point in terms of these quests here, where you have to get a level 10, affinity bonus. That's going to take months. I'm going to be so far behind on that, unless I happen to unlock at least one really good arena champion that can help me, me improve my team and I get some better gear. I should be in gold. I would like to be in gold by the end of the week at the latest, by Friday at the latest. I would like to be in gold. Maybe I can even get there sooner. Like I said, I'm in silver 4, but gold 1 is such a nightmare. I'll probably tier surf at that point and just win a match in gold and then lose 2 and drop down to silver, get the free reset, win 1, go back up to gold, try to hunt that way. It's tricky, but you can do it, and sometimes it's worthwhile. Quick look at my shard count. I have 2 sacred shards, 2 void shards, 34 ancient shards, and almost 500 mystery shards. I'm feeling pretty good about my chances in the next fusion. The current fusion is ending in 4 days, I believe, or 5. Let's actually go look. Let's see. Okay, so actually it ends sooner than I thought. It ends in basically 2.5 days. So then we'll have a little bit of a break, maybe a week, and then we'll have a new fusion. So the champion chase could be in 2 weeks' time. So we'll have to see. I do have 2 copies of Sabbatha. I was able to get 2 copies. You can see 200 fragments. So I'm saving those for the fusion. That will be 700 points in a champion chase. So that's very good. And then I think with my shards, I should be able to complete a champion chase relatively easily. The question is, will I also be able to do the summon rush? And I don't know. I don't know for sure. But if I have to complete one or the other, I'll try to complete the champion chase and then just go for the first batch of fragments on the summon rush. But we'll have to see what that schedule looks like when it comes out. Anything else I need to update you on? I don't think so. I did Chimera because I had to for some advanced missions, which was annoying, but I didn't really get any good points. I got a few 100,000 points. So that was basically a throwaway this week. And then that's about it. I think that's about it. I don't know that there's anything else that you really care about. Oh, quick note. I wanted to mention this. I have unlocked the first 2 levels of the gem mine. This is one of those decisions I was talking about. This is something you would do for a long-term free-to-play account. I took 1,000 gems. As soon as I had an extra 500, I put it here. As soon as I got the next extra 500, I put it here. And basically, as soon as I get another 500, I will put it here. And I think that will still put me in good stead for gems for the next fusion. I think we'll be fine. I should be able to do this probably tomorrow. On server day 12. I would assume I should be able to do this maybe even before then. And then that will give me a good, hopefully 8 or 9 days before the next fusion starts to pick up gems and hold on to that. I will not expand the Guardian Ring probably until after the fusion, because this is another 1,200 gems, and I think I want to hold on to them just to make sure I have enough energy to complete the first fusion. But that's at least one big difference between playing the challenge to win the challenge and playing this challenge account to make a healthy long-term account, is buying that mine early. If anybody else has done this in the challenge, They either weren't thinking about it or they're doing what I'm doing, which is they don't really care about the challenge all that much, and they're looking to play the account long term. Yeah, I did not open Doom Tower yet. I will be opening Doom Tower. As you can see, I'm at 95%, so I'll be opening Doom Tower before the server day ends. Some people have been in Doom Tower for like 5 days. So I am behind on Doom Tower, but once that opens, I'm going to hope to get some resources there and maybe get some additional forge materials. I do have some forge materials to go ahead and get some new gear, so I'll probably be doing that in the next day as well. I think that's it. I think that actually is it. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Why am I climbing the leaderboards with this approach? Do you think I'm right in terms of my speculation that other people are slow rolling or not updating their optimizer score? Or do you think that the healthy free-to-play methods that I'm utilizing on this account just also are beneficial in terms of the challenge, at least enough that I'm climbing out of the basement? Who knows? Who knows? And, give me your prediction about where I'm going to finish at the end of 90 days. I want it on record. I want to know what you think. I have my own speculation. We'll talk about that more as we go. But honestly, it's all up in the air right now. It's just for fun. But I want to hear your predictions. Top 20? Anybody? Anybody top 20? Let me know. All right, that is it for me today. Thanks so much for hanging out. I have been Colred, and I will see you in another video soon.